Yeah. Hello everyone. Welcome to the session 4 for Express Introduction to Node.js. Okay. So before moving into this course, like we'll start with this Newton School thing. So Newton School is an initiative taken by a bunch of IIT graduates. So where we focus on uh, teaching the core fundamentals of computer science, and also like until where a person can be able to develop a full stack website. Okay. So currently we offer a course like full stack web development course, which is a placement guarantee course. So you will not be able to until you get placed. Like there is no need to pay any kind of fees. Okay. So Launchpad is an initiative taken by Newton School, where so there will be some set of people who are looking for learning core fundamentals of computer science, just a fundamentals of computer science. Okay. So we consider those people like, so who are want to do the career transition, whoever like is a college student to learn the basics of computer science. So this is for those guys. Okay. So if you can see here is the like, Newton School website. If you don't have an account, like you can register into like Newton School. Like after registering in, you can uh, you'll be able to see this kind of web page. Okay. Here you can see in Launchpad, you can be able to see all the courses which are currently offering. You can click on apply. Okay. To apply to any particular course, so you can fill in the application by clicking on apply. So here you should be like filling in basic details of yours. Okay. Then so all the so all the courses that you have enrolled for, that you have applied for, will be visible over here. Okay. So like you can go to that particular course. You can see whatever the lectures that are going on, that have been completed over here. So here, for example, if you have any doubt related to any particular topic, you can go click on the share doubt button. Okay. So you will be able to post your doubt, title and detailed description of your doubt. Okay. Some tags to identify that particular doubt. Okay. So and also if you're interested to see what your peers have any doubts related to the particular course, you can click on doubts forum. Okay. Here you will be able to see all the doubts that your peers had. Okay. So Newton School also provides an IDE, which is nothing but playground. So in this playground, you can write some code and you can get some results. Okay, here you can see if there is some code section where you will be writing some code. If there is an input required, you will be using this particular console. Then output will be appearing over here, and you'll also be able to select any particular language, Bash script, Shell script, Java, JavaScript, Python, any kind of thing that you require. Okay. So and you can also like check the progress of your course. And like at the completion of this course, you will be able to get a certificate of completion of this course. Okay. So that is all about the Nodal School. So now we'll move into this Express. So in the previous session we have covered about introduction to HTTP. So today's session will be more about introduction to Express. Okay. So in this session, we'll be able to learn what is Express, why we are using Express. So we'll look about like what is Node Package Manager, and we'll try to install Express and try to make some HTTP requests using Express. Okay. So what is Express? For example, if you see in yesterday's session, we have created some GET requests, right? So that requires like so much amount of code. Okay. So Express is a framework that is used on top of Node.js, where it actually minimizes that set of code that we want to write. Basically, it has like provided some functionalities which you would like to use, that reduces the number of lines of code. Okay. So basically, it's a framework for Node.js. Okay. So basically, it is very fast. That we know, right? Unopinionated in the sense. So we can control the request and response as per our needs. Whereas, like for example, so consider Express as for Node.js, it is Express, right? For Java, we'll be using Spring. Spring is a framework for Java, and for PHP, we'll use a framework called Laravel. Okay. Similarly, for Node.js, we'll be using framework called Express, and also it is very lightweight. Okay. So basically, like as we are using it for Node.js, it is a backend or server side framework. Okay. Development for server side. Okay, and also in the yesterday session we build the HTTP request. So this express actually minimizes that amount of lines of code that we write for HTTP request. Okay, so that's why it allows to set up middlewares to respond to HTTP requests. Okay, and lastly, so it can be combined with the front-end frameworks like Angular, React while developing full-stack application. What is the full-stack application? It includes a front-end, it includes a back-end, and includes a database. For front-end, we already have some frameworks called Angular and React. For back-end, we have a framework called Express. There are other framework also, but the Express is the best performing and the fast one until now, the famous one until now. Okay, this is all about Express. So why we are using Express? So if we use Express with Node.js, the building of backend web applications will be very smoother, faster, and also will be much easier. The lines of code that you would like to write is will be very less, and also it can be easily understood by any person, any layman person. Okay, so here the third point you can say, like, we can fully control the request and response. We can configure the request, what we would, what is it is being sent, and we can configure the response like what we should send. Okay, by far, like, it is the most famous node. Like whenever any person using Node.js as a backend, so they will also use Express as a framework for Node.js. Okay, so that is all about like Express.js. Now we'll move into the Node Package Manager. So you might think like it is totally different from Express.js. No. So Node Package Manager is an online repository for publishing open source Node.js projects. Like whatever Node.js project that you have done, you can publish it in this Node Package Manager, which is a repository. Okay, so you have a Git, right? You might know about like Git or GitHub, where you will uh, push or commit this your all your projects, right? Publish your projects, right? Similarly, so Node Package Manager is a repository for all Node.js application or Node.js projects. Okay, the second point about no npm is it is also called as npm. Okay, second point, it is, for example, there is a Node.js project which is in a repository. You can use that as a package in your application. For example, someone has developed a Node.js project and published in a npm. So that project you can use it as use it as a package in your project. Okay. So and also, so yeah, that aids in package installation. So it also like able to do the version management for us, like whatever the package that we are using, that we can do the version management, and also like what are the dependencies that we have for a project. Also do the dependency management. Okay. So that is all about theoretical part. Now we will try to build some HTTP requests using Express. Okay. So today, like, we'll be focusing most of on the code. We'll create a new folder called Node.js Express. Okay. We'll try to open in the VS Code. So now what we'll do is open the terminal. Okay. Now we'll try to do a new command called npm init. We're initializing a new project. Okay, npm init. So what is the package name? Okay, we can leave it like Node.js Express. We can enter. Entry point is the starting point is index.js. The test command is no. No. We can ignore all these things. Okay. Yep. So here you can see after like running this thing, we can see something called package.json. So in this package.json, we have some code. So this is the place where all the dependency management, okay, all the version management will be done. Okay. Now if you can see the starting point is index.js. So we'll create a file called index.js. Okay, so Express is also a module. Okay, but it is not a local module, and it is also not a built-in module. Okay, so that is a package that which we want to install it from npm, install it using npm. So if you want to check, you can check like const express is equal to rec sorry uh, require of express. That I will run this thing node index.js. Here you can see there is an error called module not found, because this express is not a built-in module and not a non-local module. We should install this using npm. So we'll try to install it npm I means install. Okay, install express. Okay. If you can see, you can say after running this command, you can see some change over here. It might take some time to install express. Okay. Yeah. So here you can see there is something called node modules got added, and also package.json. So if I go to this package.json, earlier I have no dependencies, but I got a dependency added called express. So basically I'm developing an application which has an express package as a dependency. So if you want to run this application, I need to install express with version like version number called like 4.17.1. Okay, so now I will try to save this again and we'll try to run this thing. Now there is no error, right? So that means like we're able to access the express. Okay, so we'll directly use this do the HTTP request and all this thing using express. Okay, what we'll do const app is equal to express of. Okay, as it is a callable thing. Okay, now what I will do. So earlier, if you remember, we started listening the port, listening at a particular port. Okay, listen at 5000. Okay, so I will get a callback function also to specify. Okay, I am listening. That's why I will do console.log of. Okay, server started listening at port $5000. Okay, I will try to run this thing again. If you can see, server started listening at port 5000. If you want to check, yesterday you might have learned this thing, netstat /-env find the port number if which you want to see whether it is listening a server or not. Okay, what is this thing? Find parameter not found. Okay, yeah. Sorry. So we should use double quotations. So here you can see it is listening. Okay. So now, so if you can see the code is very simplified, right? Just like app.listen of 5000, a callback function to specify, okay, I'm listening that particular port. Now what I will do, I will do some get requests. Okay, get request of what? So at this particular location. So after that particular location, that is an endpoint for us, API endpoint for us. So I will do something called a request and response. So whenever there is a hit for us, then there is an API hit for us, there will be something called request and response callback function. Okay. So what I will do, I will send response dot send off hello there. Okay. So I will go to this go to the web page. Okay, and I will try to do the localhost 5000. It is saying cannot get. Why? Because the changes that I have made are not yet compiled. I have saved the file, but I should restart this application. Now if I reload this, okay, why it is not listening? Okay, response dot send off hello there, right? App dot get off. Okay. Maybe I will try to remove this dot once. Okay, we'll again run this thing. Yeah. So basically, we should not place dot. Okay, it is just in slash for us. Dot takes back to the previous point. Okay, so we should not specify dot over there. So if you compare this code with the previous using normal HTTP code, the code will be like very less in this particular application, because we are using Express framework, right? So now what I will do is, so I will try to avoid this. So whenever I do a change over here, I should restart this application, right? So instead of like doing that, what I will do is I will install a dependency which is called npm id this nodemon. Okay. Uh, yeah. So hyphen d is for dependency. Okay. We'll do that thing. Okay. So here you can see this change. So in the so there will be something called added called dev dependence, which is developer dependence. That is used that those dependencies are only need for developers. Okay. Why it is not able to install? Yeah. So here you can see node1 got added. So what we'll do is np. So here we'll be adding some script. Okay. Dev nodemon index. Okay. We'll save this thing. We'll do npm run. Okay, here you can see we got this thing. So whenever I do some change, okay, so whenever, so for example, there is over here hello there, whenever I do the change, so the server will get automatically restarted, and we can also, whenever we refresh this page, we will get the latest thing. So node1 avoids the restarting an application, restarting of the application. It will automatically restart whenever we do some change in our code or application. Okay, that will be simplifying for us, right? Okay, now we install the Express. We do the npm init. We just done the normal get request. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll try to send some HTML over here. Okay, yesterday we had done that, but today also we'll do the same thing. Okay, so I'm sending some HTML content over here. Okay, I'll reload this page. Okay, so here we got the HTML content which is with the h1 tag. Okay, which is the heading one. Okay, now what will I do is I will try to parse the HTML file, not the HTML content, but the HTML file. So for that, what I will do is I will try to create a new folder which is public. So in that public, I will create a file called what we can index.html. Okay, in this HTML, I'll add some normal requirement, and here we'll say my website. The title is my website. Okay, and now the H1. Okay? The H1 is my welcome to my website. Okay, I'll save this thing. I'll go back to the index.js. So here, instead of sending the normal HTML content, I will use something called response.send file. Okay, so what is the send file? We should mention the path. Okay, so for that path, I will use this thing called. So we already discussed about the path, right? Okay, path is equal to require of path module. Okay, so we'll use this path, and in using that path, we'll try to join. We'll join what the current directory name. Okay, and the folder where the HTML file is residing, and also the name of the HTML file. Okay, we'll do this thing. We'll reload this page. So here you can see, welcome to my website. So here we are not sending normal HTML content. Instead, we are sending HTML file itself. Okay. So that is in another way. So basically, as we are using this express and this path module, it is very simplified for us. Okay, instead of using normal HTTP, the code will be very long. Okay. So now we done the gap.get. Now we have also done the send file, right? Now what we'll do, we also done the node.mon thing. Okay. Now we'll send some. So we'll make some things as static. Okay. Static in the sense. So instead of static thing, we'll try to send some JSON data. Okay. So what is the JSON data? So we'll have like some person's data. uh, in each object we'll be having some id as one. What is the name? Nehru Perumulla. Sorry, as it is a JSON thing, the value should be of a string type. Okay, so we'll also send something called email nehru1@gmail.com. Okay, what is the status? So he is currently as an active person. Okay, so this is a like a JSON single object, but we'll try to create multiple of these things. Okay, so the ID is 2 for this thing. Okay, ramu@gmail.com. The ID is 3. Okay. Here the name is Vipul. The email is vipul@gmail.com. So this is a JSON object for us as of now. Okay, I will try to hide this thing. Okay, I will try to minimize this one also. So this is a JSON object for us. So whenever we there is a get request for us, we'll try to send this JSON data. Okay. So basically, what we can do is there is a method called JSON for us. Okay, response dot JSON of. Okay. So what is the JSON data, which is persons. I'll reload the web page. So here I can see the JSON data. Okay, which we can like do this kind of thing. Okay, this is a JSON data for us. So now we are able to send the normal text data, HTML content, and the HTML, not only HTML file, we can also send the CSS files, JavaScript, everything. So we have done with the HTML file, and also we have done the JSON transfer. Okay, we have sent the JSON data using this get API. Okay, now what we will do is we'll try to we'll go to the Postman. Okay, so in Postman we'll do something called localhost 5000 slash, yeah, so, localhost 5000 slash, yeah. So here you can see we got the responses. So this is my response. We got everything right, like all the details. Okay, so now what I would like to do is I would like to send some ID over here, like I would like to send 3. Okay, then I should be able to get what the ID, the record with ID 3. Okay, as I sending the ID as 3, I should be able to get the record of ID 3. Okay, so but like to simplify these things, I will use something called API persons. Okay, as an endpoint for us. Then the /3 represent I would like to get the record with ID 3. Okay, so what I will do, app.get. Okay, then what I will do, the API endpoint is /API/persons. Okay, so now what is the ID they require, which is colon ID. We should be able to, like, if we mention this API endpoint is in this way, we're able to retrieve this params. So this is nothing but request params. Okay, so this is the API endpoint for us. Then we'll be having the callback function. Okay, request and response. Okay, so now we'll try to console.log the we'll try to print whether we're able to fetch this ID or not. How we can fetch this? So it is a parameter. So they are sending this 3 as a parameter. Parameter in the sense, like in the URL, if you send any particular value, that will come under this parameter. Okay, so right? Requested params, as we are taking that as an ID, where so we are also asking to print the ID. Okay, we restarted the server. Now we'll do a hit over here. Okay, I'll do send. Okay, here you can see we got like 3. Okay, so that means we're able to access this particular value over here. Okay, so now we'll try to cancel this request. It is trying to it is expecting some response, but we are not sending it, right? Now we'll try to send it. How we can send? So here we have something called persons, right? So initially response dot send off. Okay, so before sending it, okay, we'll send the response, but before sending it, what we will do is, as it is a persons dot filter of, okay, person. So this is a filter function. So where it will actually do this, uh, it will send a single object. So this filter option will be applied on the arrays. Okay, in that each object will be sent as a person over here. Okay, now we'll check what is the ID of that object, whether it is equal to this request.param.id. Okay, so no, it is not param, it is params. Sorry. Okay. So if the ID of the person object and the request.params ID is equal, then only the match ones only get appear, and the rest of rest everything will be not returned. Okay. The match ones will only get returned. Okay. So then the get person, I'll show that in the get person. Okay. I will send that get person. Okay. We'll try to again hit this thing. Send. Oh, here we cannot see anything, right? But what we are doing, we are trying to, we're able to get that params ID. We're able to filter it. Okay, we'll try to console.log whether we're able to find anything related to that or not. Okay. So the server the server is trying to restart. Yeah, server is restarted. We'll send request again. Okay, so here you can see so even it is unable to find any person ID with the request params ID. Okay, so basically request ID is what type of int type. Okay, but the params ID that we'll get is will be string type. So int doesn't equal string. Okay, the data types are not same. Okay, what we'll do is we'll do the typecasting from what, from string to integer. Okay, uh, so this is also integer right now, and as it is a string, we are convert that string to int. Okay, now we'll send the request again. Okay, here you can see as I send the id as 3. Okay, I got the object with id 3, which is vipul@gmail.com and active. What if I send id as 2? Okay, then I'm getting so as I had this bunch of data with me, so you can relate this with the real world example. So as I had the a large set of data, but if a user requesting or clicking on some set of button, then we can automate it like to, okay, so I will send some id as to, then you give me the object which has id only 2. Okay, so as I am sending the ID as to, we can get the object with ID 2. That is fine, right? In this whole data, we are able to send the thing. So here we are doing console.log, right? That is printing over here. We can comment it or remove it. Okay. So the get is done. Okay. Get all the records we are able to do. For example, if you want to get all the records, what we can do, we can just remove it. We can send it. We are able to get all records. Okay, if we add those things, we can able to send it, but get a particular record. Okay, which matches the id. But what if I'm sending something called 6? Okay, we got empty object. Okay, so we got empty object. So because so basically there is no record with ID 6. Okay, so what will happen? So there are no matches, and we so there will be an empty array. So we can display it to the user in a better way. How can we display it to the user in a better way? Okay, so I will write something called uh, const found. Okay, so what are the array persons dot sum? Okay, what does it take? Array dot sum, it takes some predicate. Okay, value t, index and array read only. Okay, okay, so what it will do is it will take an object same as filter. Okay, same as filter. It will work upon the array. Each object will be sent in each iteration. If there is something matches as per our requirement. Okay, parse int of request dot params dot id. Okay, so here we are filtering the data, but before filtering data, I'm trying to find out whether any person is satisfying this particular request or not. What is the request? Whether is there any ID matching with the person ID or not? The params ID is matching with the person ID or not? If found, so okay, if there is any found with that particular request, what I will do is, okay, I will send the data. Okay, I will send the data. So we'll do the return. It will be like it will say like the headers are already sent. Okay, so else what if there is no what if there is no record? Okay, we can try in this response.json of, okay, message. So we can write no record found with id. So what is the id? Id is request.params.id. Okay, we'll try to send this get request again. Here you can see we got something called no record found with ID 6. So it is very readable. Okay, if you send empty, like user will get confused like whether it exists or not exists, whether it is working properly or not. Okay, so if you are like sending the existing ID, it is able to return the data. If you are not able to send the ID which doesn't exist, it is returning me the message. Okay, so now we are able to like do some basic get request call. Okay, okay. So now we'll do the same. We'll do another request called post request. So post is what? Okay, submitting something for submitting something to the server. Okay, so we can directly do the app dot post. So what is the API endpoint for that? API slash persons. Okay, so here also we'll get a callback called request comma response. Okay, so in that request comma response, we'll try to print. So what is post? Post is nothing but submitting something to the server. So which will get in the request dot body. Okay, we'll try to print. Okay, what the user is sending. Okay, we'll try to figure out what the user is sending basically. Okay, so here we'll change this method type to post. Okay, here we'll remove this thing also, and we'll try to do the header. What is the header type? Content type is, sorry, application slash JSON. Okay, body inra. So inra we can say name as Ravi. I will try to send this. Okay, we are getting something called undefined. Why it is undefined? Okay, so we'll cancel this thing. We'll send it. Again, we are seeing the same thing. Okay, so why we are saying this is because, okay, so as it is in JSON format, we should make use of app dot use of express dot JSON. Okay, so basically we are getting the JSON data from the server. Okay, so that's why we should be able to accept the JSON data. Okay, so we are able to send the data, that is fine, but we are receiving this JSON data. Okay, so that's why we should be able to accept that kind of data. So yesterday, if you see, there are some request headers and response headers. In the request and response header, we have something called accept. So now we are trying to accept that particular JSON data. And also app dot use of express dot URL encoded of extended is false. Okay, you'll send the response again. Okay, so here you got the name Ravi. Okay, so basically we are able to get the data which is being sent over here. That is fine. So basically we are able to do communicate with the post request. So now what will I do? I'll do something called dot name of. We'll send it again. So here you can see which is okay. Why it is that way? Because here n is capital, I am using the small n. Okay, we'll restart it again. We'll send the request. Okay, here you are able to see Ravi. Okay, basically we are able to access the data which is being sent by the post method in the body. Okay, we are able to access in the server side. Okay, as we are able to access the send data from the request in the request object, now we'll do some operations on top of it. Okay, what we can do is we'll create a new person object. Okay, in that new person object, we'll try to add some IDs. Okay, ID is what that will be sent by request. We will not do like add manually or add static data. We'll add the data which is coming from request itself. Okay, request dot body dot ID. What is the name? So that will also come from request dot body dot name. Okay. Email is request dot body dot email. Status will be the same. Sorry, request dot body dot status. This is a new object. So whenever there is a new object, so we are able to get this data from the post method. Now, as we have fetched the data, we should be able to push it to like add it to the existing data, right? So now what we'll do is uh, okay. So as you already have some set of data persons, we'll push this newly created persons to already present array. Okay. Then afterwards, we'll send data called response dot send off. Okay. Response dot send off persons. Okay. With this data. Nothing got added. Why it is that case? Okay. Okay, here you can see as I'm sending a new object, the new object is being added. But there are some key values which are missing, which is ID, email, and status. So we'll add those things also over here. Okay, ID as 4. Okay, uh, email as ravi@gmail.com. Okay, and the status as add. Okay, we'll send this data now. If you can see, we're able to get the following data. Okay, we are able to get previous and the current data also. Okay. But I want to restrict this API to send me all the data instead of like the parts of data. I would like to get all this data, not only like name, not only email, like everything should be filled for me. Then what I can do is I will put some conditions. If sorry, new person dot name. So I'll try to get the ID first. New person dot ID or new person dot name or new person dot email, new person dot status. So if any of this is not present, what I will do is return response dot send off some response dot JSON. I will send JSON data response dot JSON of messages require data for every field. Okay, it is fine, right? So now I will try to remove this thing. Try to send the. Okay, so now as we have not included the name, so I am sending message called require data for every field. So that if the name is included only, will the data will get added. Sorry, I forgot about this. I'll try to make ID as unique, so that's why I'll send file. Here you can see we have this called ID file. We lost this previous records because it is a static thing, right? So we are not like dealing with database. That's why we have the as we restarted this service, the previous one got eliminated. Okay, so now we are done with the push method also. So here yeah, so here we are dealing with the two error conditions. What if there is no record found with ID and if there is no required data given, then we can add something. So here if you can see, if even if there is no required data is given, we are getting something called status student. Okay, but it is not, it should not be the case, right? So we should give so the client is sending the data which is uh, where some set of values are missing from that. So basically then we should send response dot status of 404 or 400. Okay, similarly response dot status of 400. Okay? We'll try to hit this data again. Now, if you can see, it is a 400 bad request. Bad request in the sense the request is not meaningful or the request is not correct. Okay, so now we have seen this get request and post request. Now what we'll do is we'll see the put request. What does the put do? Put updates the data which is already present in the server. Okay, we have some data present over here. We'll try to update it. Okay, now we can update it /API/persons. So whenever user want to update, I want to update a second the object with ID second. So I will try to use this params query. Okay, then I will make use of this callback function request comma response. I'll use this fat or arrow function. Okay, is developed in ECMAScript. Now what I will do? So I will try to print the console.log of request.params.id. Before that, like okay. So now what I will do is I will try to create a new object. No, not a new object. I'll try to filter out which ID he or she want to change. Okay. So const, not const. Okay. Uh, update person is equal to persons dot. I'll first get the object that he or she want to change. Okay. Person dot filter of persons a factor a function where sorry it should not be persons, it should be a person variable, and the person dot id should be equal to request dot params dot id. Okay, I will try to send that for testing purpose. Okay, update person. Okay, remove this as it is a put thing. We'll do put and we'll do 3. Okay, so what is third object, which is Vipul check Vipul. So here we cannot say anything. Why it is the case? We'll see. Response.json of update person is a put request. It is localhost 5000. Okay, so why we are not getting the data is we are not typecasting the ID because it is a string and it is an integer. If we try to do the equals, it will not be matched at any time. So that way we should convert this string to integer. So as I'm sending the 3 ID 3, so we're getting the object with ID 3. So now I want to change this particular object. Okay, so update person dot id. ID should not be changed, right? So that's why I would like not to change this ID. Update person dot name request dot body dot name. Okay, so for example, if user doesn't want to change, user just given the email ID to be changed, then the request body dot name will be replaced with the undefined, right? So to avoid that, I will try to figure use the conditional thing. Okay, if it is undefined, like it will not change. For example, if it is true, it will remain as it is. If it has some function, okay. If it has some value in it, apart from undefined, if it has some value in it, it will be replaced by that value. If there is no value, what it will do? It will be same as the previous, the existing value, not the previous, but the existing value. Okay. Similarly, I will do the same for email. We can do press Control and change for everything at once. It is used. Okay, it's also changing the status. Okay, like after changing all these things, we can send this updated person. Response.json of person. Okay, so here, if I like get back this thing, content type. It is an application JSON, right? Sorry, it's my bad. So now I would like to send name as Vipul. Sorry, we should use double quotations. Don't forget to use double quotation in the postman. Okay. Vipul Chakravarti. Okay. So I will try to send this. Okay. Now we are getting the same old data. Why it is the case? So we'll try to print whether we are able to get something in the request.body. We're able to get that. Try to change the positions once. Try to print it, whether it is changing or not. Why it is giving me the undefined ones. Okay, so basically here we should do something called 0. Okay. So we'll get back this to original positions. Yeah. So now if you can see, so we are doing this for the zero, the initial updated person where there is a match. So if there is any request.body.name, we are changing that name with the value that we got from the requested body. If there is no change, if we got something called undefined, we keep it like as it is in the previous and the normal updated version. Okay. Here, if you can see, we can send something called email. Email. It is people@gmail.com. Now I will make it as people chakravarti @gmail.com. Okay. Try to send a request. So now if you can see, we can change that name and email both got changed to the latest, the data that we sent over here. Okay. So that is fine, right? Now we are able to, what are the things that we have completed? We have completed the get request. We completed the get request with query params. We completed the post request. We completed the pull request with the query params. Now what we are left with, we left with this delete. Okay. We'll also like try to implement that app dot delete of. So we make use of the same API endpoint, which is API slash persons. Okay. So we'll be getting a callback function request comma response. Okay. So initially, so basically here we will also use query params because the user will be specifying, okay, I want to delete a particular object with ID 2. Then we'll delete this object and we'll send the remaining results for the user. Okay. So that's why we're taking the ID over here. So initially what we'll do, we'll check whether there are any persons with that ID or not. Okay. Const we'll try to store that founded results in the found variable is equal to persons dot, okay, persons dot sum of So we'll check for each person whether each person ID is getting matched with the. We'll do the parsing. Why? Because it is string. We'll do. You should cannot compare the same data types, right? Otherwise, we will not get any match. Parsing of request dot params dot id. Okay. So if we found any match that user want to delete, okay. If we found, what we'll do, we'll send the user the filtered ones, the deleted one, the result after we delete the requested object we deleted. Okay. So persons dot filter of person. Okay. Person ID, which will be not equal to request dot param dot id. Why we have written this not equal to? Because we should be sending all the results which doesn't match with the existing user, because we are deleting the particular user and giving the remaining ones. Okay. So whatever the thing that he wants should be deleted, which means we should send the remaining ones, all the remaining ones. That's why we have written this type of condition. Okay. What else? If there is no particular, there is no phone with that particular ID, we can send something called status as 400 dot send off. Okay. A dot send off. We can do something called dot JSON of message no record found with request dot params dot id to delete. So here we should use character one beside the number, like key letter one. Okay. Button one. Okay. We'll try to do this thing. So here we will change this HTTP method as delete. Okay. Now we'll send this method, like here the what this API means for us. The user would like delete the ID object with ID 3. Okay. So like after deleting, okay, we got the same results. Why is that? Okay, here we are not converting them to parsend. So here you can see. So here we can remove all these things. Okay. So you want to delete the person with ID 3. We are deleting and we are getting the remaining ones. If I also want to delete the person with ID 2, so I'm able to get the results which are like after deleting the second, we are left with object ID with 1 and 3. Okay. So in this session we have covered using X, like how can we use the express app get, put, post and delete, and also we have covered how to parse the files and send the files across to the client side. Yeah, so that is for this session. So we'll meet again tomorrow. Thank you.